Hi folks, late hour by me here, but just felt like having a chat with the feeling or the thought about when the times get tough, right, or the moments get tough. I think of this song by REM, Everybody Hurts. It's such a beautiful song, and the words "everybody hurts." I don't have the lyrics in front of me, but one of it says "hold on," hold on, and when we get into those states of just real confusion and disorientation and uncertainty and feelings of just self-loathing, helplessness, abandoned, and just traumatized, wrung out, etc. We feel as well that we're doing so well, and now it's all come crashing down. That in those moments, we just hold on. That's strength. I was going to title this that you need to be strong. And I suppose I'm doing this in reply to this video for some things in my life that I'm going through. But for some others, some people who left some comments on previous videos of mine, just in regards to them being in this kind of state of just sort of, I'm not quite sure exactly. I can't remember the comment offhand. I sort of, I remember the feeling of it. I don't remember the words of it exactly. And I just sort of looked over it and need to maybe re-look at it and whatnot. But that kind of sentiment that I feel, that for myself, what I can say is that I feel that I don't have those moments very often of just great despair and hopelessness and confusion and feeling weak. Okay, I don't have them as often as I used to. Geez, did I have them often. And I don't know, maybe some things in my life have changed where I don't visit those moments very often, or if I do visit them, they're not in such great depth as I used to. Okay? And now that's not saying that I'm any different to anybody else out there. It's just, I don't know, in a way, dare I say it, that I've just been through enough of them. That and it's hard to say because I don't know what lies in the future. I don't know. I mean, when I listen back to some of my recordings or some of my writings that I've done in the past, and I've seen how low I was, right, and how despaired I was, and how hopeless I was, and how full of just anger and self-resentment and resentment for the world, and just felt over-consumed by the darkness, the real darkness of the world and people, feeling alone, feeling isolated and no one to turn to, and that anxiety of no one to share with and no one to hold and no one to cry with, those moments. And so for myself, I don't know if I'm a little bit better equipped, or I don't know. But I know for some others that's where they're at, they can be at times. Again, I know better than anybody else. I mean, this moment has been so horrific for me. ill, become ill by it. I see the world and it makes me cringe. I think about my past. At times when I think about my past, it comes up for me, and see what I went through and see what it was about. I do feel frustrated. I do feel, going through school, going through my religion, going through propaganda, going through the social pressures of things, going through the lack of guidance and support from my family or my father or my mother. Just really sent out amongst the wolves. And that happens when I think about my past, where I feel like, damn it, I wish I could, have a fresh start. I didn't have to have that kind of upbringing. I see, teenagers today, like where I live now in Durban, there's, I don't know what you call it in other countries, but when you matriculate, it's your final year of school, before you you go into university, or when you're free from school, your final year. And so now it's the time where that grade has finished, and so a whole lot of teenagers have just finished are now down here in the city that I live in by the ocean to it's kind of like a spring break, type of theme. And just to see it, I'm saying there's just thousands of these youngsters, boys and girls. They're already boys and girls, they're not men or women. They could be, but you can see it, not just not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing, it's a conscious thing. You can just see it. And you see how much drinking is going on, alcohol, and how much just dangerous activities that are happening. You see them trying to do dangerous activity, or dangerous for the fun of it, for the thrill of it, for the stupidness of it. And it's dangerous. And yet this is a full week of just constant partying, every day, every night, barely any sleep, and just a whole lot of bad food and a whole lot of alcohol. I just look at them and I just see they're so lost. And I was like them. I was one of them. And I think about the stories of my friends and how out of hand we used to get, and how embarrassing, how shameful the things that we did. I think I was a little bit better than some of my friends. I don't think I was as wild. I don't think I was as disrespectful. I don't think I was as clueless. I don't think I was as mindless. I was mindless, there's no question about it, but I don't think I was, I just don't remember. I think I was more of the civil one amongst the chaosness, amongst that we as friends got up to. And so I see that, it reminds me, I reflect back, when I was that age, and I reflect back often when I was 25, when I was 30, when I was 15, 10 years old, and I look back, and I'm such a different person now, and I've got more of, I don't know what I have, but I have something that enables me to manage myself better, to be okay more of the time. I'm knocked often, I'm drained a lot of the time, I'm overwhelmed a lot of the time. But I have to say that less than I was before. Really less than I was before. I just think I'm more in touch with reality, I'm more in touch with the lighter energies, and I'm more in touch with the darker energies. I'm more in touch with both of them. See, because that's the thing, is that when you're not in touch with the darker energies and with certain type of realities and the state of the world and people and the mindset, etc., like you don't understand how dark, you don't understand darkness. You don't understand that energy. You don't understand how possessive it can be. You don't know, you don't appreciate how it can, suck you and pull you in. Like you don't know. Right? You don't know sometimes even the energy or the negatives, the critique, self, the critic inside of oneself. You don't know your ability to be self-loathing, self-sabotaging, unless you have, spend time with yourself. If you find out what's haunting you, if you find out what's traumatized you, like if you spend a lot of time on that, right? It's not, how would I say, these dormant pockets of dark energy that can just come in and hijack you, because you've processed them. And so, you stand more whole than you were before. And so, I mean, daily I'm made aware of reality, of the reality of things, of the world, and the 5 sense reality, and and how tough it is, and how removed from source we are, and from like-minded individuals, right, or company of that, how we disconnected from nature, how we venture alone, and we having to coexist in a world that we know is desperately trying to make us not well. And that gets a bit much at times, folks, it does, it gets heavy. So again, it's not sometimes just from the outside world that's trying to, steal you away, blind you, pull you in. There's also internal stuff as well. Right? There's internal stuff as well that's trying very hard. There's a lot of fear, a lot of fear. Right? And so the more I think again that we come to terms with the fear, we respect it. Right? We know that it's there. We know it haunts us. We know it troubles us. And we are able to be there for ourselves with that which, overtakes us, that which tries to harm us, that which tries to deceive us internally and externally. We try and be there more for ourselves. We more connect with our light and our divinity and our strength. Right? The stronger we become, and the less influential these forces have on us, the less impact that they have. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be disturbed by the injustices of the world. Like you will be. And some days it will trouble you to your very core. And sometimes the troubles of the world will invite themselves into your sacred space, into your house, into your room, come up close and personal and stare you straight in the face. On some of those days, and you've had enough. It's like, when you try and sometimes the tolerance just becomes impossible. Like it's no more do I want to see this freak show of this place, of this world. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it. You really feel that way. It's like, how can I continue in this fashion? And to be honest, again, I sometimes think about that, but I used to be more concerned about how am I going to continue in this world. But I don't feel that as much. I just try and go with the flow because I don't know where things are going. I know the world is getting worse. It's becoming so shameful. Right? It's becoming like, are these human beings? You know? Is this humanity? Is there soul living in these people? You know, because on the one thing it's like, you understand soul, spirit transformation. You know, people come here for karmic reasons, and it's all divine. You know, things like that. Some days you can understand it logically, and you can have a sense of faith with it. But other times you won't. It's not always there, folks. Some of the things that will happen in the world that you will see that will happen and come close, up front, and personal to you. Within those moments, you will say that all has been lost, all is wayward, all is in vain of purpose and meaning. This is just scandalous. You know, this is just the devil's plaything. This is just the pits of all darkness. You know? So what am I saying? I'm getting lost here, but yeah, some of those days you'll feel it. And you'll lose it, and you'll lose the faith because of, you know, you'll be tested and it'll gut you. It'll gut you so bad that you'll think to yourself, how can this be loving? Right? It can impact you so greatly and traumatize you in such a big way. You can say, how can this be divine? How can this be godly? How can this be part of a plan? You know? And on those days, instead of trying to force the idea that there must be something, a plan, just rather have respect that there might be a plan, rather have a reverence for the fact that you can't really understand what's going on. I mean, honor the way that you're feeling, you know, but don't, I'm saying try and force us, you know, by bypassing it or whatever's going on. I'm saying the trauma or the scandalousness or the depravity or the darkness, you know, when it affects you and it's up close and personal and staring you in the eyes, you know, you felt its full force. You know, don't just, well, I'm above it all and it can't affect me and I know the truth and I know the light and I know the way. And I mean, you can say that to yourself and say, like, you know, and turn the other cheek, but you got to respect how living in this world can make you feel at times. You got to respect that, right? You're going to honor that. I've said this before. I don't know if I've uploaded those talks. So yeah, folks. The future is unknown. There's somewhat of a lot of change going on in the air. Who knows what's to come, and who knows how much we need to endure. But regardless of what's to come and how much we need to endure, we need to understand that whatever it takes, we need to hold on. Hold on. You know? And don't, like, even, just hold on. Not try and, I mean, maybe if there's a moment, think, okay, well, this will make me stronger. You know, you can think of the positive, but sometimes when you're so gutted and you're so bruised, not just bruised, wounded, when you know, it's just, you're so fragile and you're so vulnerable, you're so raw and you're so exposed and you're so exhausted and you're so confused and you feel sick to your bones, right? I mean, mantras and positive thinking will help, but just be present, take a breath, and just hold on and just get through that moment. And then the next moment, the next moment, the next moment. You know? And with enough moments, hopefully you come to a place of more stability, of more connectedness, of more strength, of more love. You know? Something like that. Alright, folks. think I've said what I'd like to share. Thank you for taking the time. We'll chat soon. Be well.